Dallas has 7 mega projects worth more than $18 billion together, and in 25 years of living here, I've never seen any type of growth like this. And I'm talking about Goldman Sachs building their biggest office outside of New York, a universal theme park designed just for kids, and a $12 billion master planned city in Frisco, and so much more. But by the end, you'll know where the growth is happening, now why that matters, and how to position before everyone else catches on. All right, now the first project we'll dive into is the Universal Kids Resort. Most theme parks focus on teens and leave the toddlers out, but this one actually kind of flips the script with the first kids-only theme park in America. So it's a $550 million project that's opening in Frisco next year. And this could turn Dallas into one of the country's top family entertainment centers, and I'll show you why, which the park itself takes up about 32 acres inside of a larger 97-acre site. So it's packed with all your favorites like SpongeBob, Jurassic World, and the Minions, of course. But what really makes it even more interesting is that Universal is adding a 300-room hotel set to open in mid-2026. So that's lined up pretty perfectly with the FIFA World Cup that's coming to Dallas. So I don't think that timing is really an accident. Now, a project of this scale kind of feels huge, yet it's still only a fraction of what's going to be taking shape downtown. So if you stay with me, I'll share more about that, because that one could be Dallas's own Silicon Valley. And during construction, the project creates around 2,500 jobs, and once it's open, thousands of permanent positions. And Universal expects about 20,000 visitors every weekend and 7,500 during the week. So for a kids-only theme park, those numbers are pretty crazy. But Frisco also is stepping in with $12.7 million in incentives, but only if Universal opens up by June of 2026. And the city's making sure that it gets done on time. So that tells you how confident they are about that. This is going to be a huge success. But this project, I mean, it really cements Frisco as a major family destination and a tourism hub. So homes within a 1 to 3 mile radius are already starting to see appreciation, and it anchors the massive 2,500 acre Fields development, and it really kind of keeps going from there. Now, Universal is only step one, and the next project will make this look small. And so we're talking about a development bigger than most Texas cities, and it's already 70% pre-leased before they've even broken ground. But before we dive deeper, and if we haven't met, my name is Levi, and I've called Dallas home pretty much my whole life, and I've had the privilege of helping over 500 families move here just within the last couple of years. So if you want the real scoop on Dallas real estate, make sure you subscribe so you can be always up to date with the most current information. Now, you're about to see how a massive project is changing the game for North Texas as well. And that's why they're building a 15-minute city that we've never had here before. And this is going to be bigger than most Texas cities. It's just locked in $425 million in financing. And all in, we're talking more than $12 billion for Fields, with $2 billion of that just for Fields West. So crazy numbers for just one development. The plan covers over 2,500 acres of old ranch land, so they turn that into a mixed-use city. Fields West alone has over 350,000 square feet of retail and 325,000 feet of office space. And here's the really crazy part. They're already 70% pre-leased to national brands before even breaking ground. But you got names like Bloomingdale's, Kendra Scott, Sephora, Pottery Barn, and Maestro Steakhouse are already in. And those aren't really small shops. These are national brands betting heavily on Frisco's future. And when they sign leases before construction even starts, which it started now, you know something big is coming. But now vertical construction is kicking off here in the fall, and with the first openings planned for late 2027 into early 2028, about 14,000 homes, both single family and multifamily, will be spread across all the connected neighborhoods. But you got trails that are going to link everything together, but really making it a true 15-minute city. Now, once it's running, Fields is expected to pull in more than $400 million in sales each year. So add the PGA of America headquarters and the Omni PGA Resort, and this becomes a pretty premium destination. I mean, property values nearby are already moving up, and if you think a $12 billion project is huge, just wait a minute, because Dallas is flipping its biggest failure into something even more valuable. And that's right, I'm talking about the famous hole by the tollway. It's now a $3 billion project. It's going to take 112 acres at Dallas Parkway and Lebanon Road, turning into what was once Frisco's really most visible embarrassment into a brand new destination. So phase one, I mean, it's not a small start, a 33 143,000 square foot of retail and 114,000 square feet of office space, around 630 homes as well. And that groundbreaking happened in January, so it's already in progress. The city is backing it with 113 million in incentives to make sure that they finally deliver on this plan. But the plan mirrors what's happening downtown with the New Park Smart District, where they're using TIF subsidies to flip 20 acres of underused land into a tech hub that can compete with the best in the country. But what makes the mix different is the green space. So more than 16 acres of it with a central park of almost 9 acres by itself. And the design makes room for trails, parks, and outdoor spaces that families will actually use. And of course, the location, I mean, you can't miss it. It's sitting right on the Dallas North Tollway, so thousands of people will drive past it every single day. That's pretty much free advertising for every shop and restaurant that moves in. But don't think that Frisco's the only one cashing in. I mean, Dallas just landed one of the biggest corporate moves we've seen in years. I mean, the next project is kind of bringing Wall Street money to Dallas, and so that's going to be boosting luxury demand in Victory Park and building a brand new financial hub. All right, so let me show you why Goldman Sachs picking Dallas for their biggest office outside of New York is such a big deal, and how it's already changing the luxury market really in more than just one neighborhood. I mean, they could have gone anywhere in the country, but they picked Dallas. So we're talking about $500 million campus, 800,000 square feet on just 3 acres in Victory Park. And Goldman Sachs doesn't make calls like this unless they've run the numbers every way. So they're moving more than 5,000 employees, and that makes this their largest US office outside of New York. So they're gonna have a 14-story building that's breaking ground already 2 years ago, and it's set to finish in late 2027. So that's not just like someday, it's coming up and it's happening right now. But Dallas didn't land it by accident. Now, the city put 18 million in incentives on the table, so the biggest package in the country for an office project that year. And we went up against other major markets and won. So Goldman Sachs clearly sees Dallas as the smart place to grow. And of course, the building, I mean, it's all electric, shooting for that LEED and WELL certifications. So there will be rooftop gardens, childcare on site, a full fitness center, underground parking, and it's built to really kind of keep the talent here, not just stick people in cubicles. All right, so this locks in Victory Park in a serious financial hub. So Goldman has had a presence here since 1968. So they already know the Dallas market works. Now, the campus is really driving demand for luxury homes and high-end retail all across the district and in uptown. So if you stick with me, because next up is the project with Dallas's highest swimming pool, something nobody would have imagined here just 5 years ago. Now you're gonna see how the design district is moving really from the old industrial zone to one of Dallas's most pretty exciting urban neighborhoods with new amenities that are really kind of redefining luxury living. Now this project will feature the highest swimming pool in the city and reshape kind of the design district forever. So the plan calls for a 17-story office tower with 186 square feet and a 30-story residential tower with 300 homes. I mean, together they form really this urban getaway between downtown Dallas and Oak Lawn. So there's also like 45,000 square feet of high-end retail and showroom space, so aimed at growing the luxury market. And the pool at the top of the residential tower, I mean, it shows how developers are adding bold features that really kind of go beyond what you'd expect in most urban projects. But not long ago, this kind of high-end amenity would have seemed really kind of impossible in Dallas. But it makes sense now when you look at the combined impact of all the projects going on together. Something we'll break down later when we cover the 18+ billion transformation. But construction starts next year with completion set around 2030. So the project is part of a 40-acre buy made by HN Capital Partners and McCourt Partners. They're betting big on design district's shift from industrial to urban living. Now, the $8.8 million Highline Span pedestrian bridge will open next spring, and it connects trails that link the design district to Victory Park and the Katy Trails. And the design district is already evolving with the new homes and restaurants and really more density. So this mix of living, working, and entertainment makes it a really top spot for young professionals and maybe some empty nesters who want to be close to downtown without being right in the middle of it. The most ambitious project is the new Smart District, and it took one developer 10 years and talks with over 100 property owners to assemble the land. And that kind of patience and vision is almost unheard of in today's real estate market. All right, so let me show you why one developer who spent the last 10 years pulling together 60 different parcels of land. The goal was pretty big. It was to build Dallas's own version of Silicon Valley and reshape how downtown grows for the next generation. So we're talking about a $3.5 billion plan that covers 20 acres just south of City Hall. So the vision is to turn it into a full tech and innovation hub. Phase one brings a tower between 38 to 40 stories with 240,000 square feet of office space and a 245 room hotel and 268 apartments. And that's really just the start. So from full build out, that includes over 1 million square feet of office, 200,000 square feet of retail, and thousands of homes, and even a 1 million square foot education campus. Now, the developer, Mike Hoke, spent nearly a decade negotiating with more than 100 property owners to kind of make this happen. The final piece fell into place in March. So that kind of patience and grit, really, it shows just how big the vision is here. So the city's on board too. So the TIF subsidies from the downtown connection are funding new infrastructure. Dallas knows New Park has the power to reshape the south end of downtown. So they're backing it with incentives. And the focus is on pulling in tech firms and building out a real innovation campus. The whole district will run on smart, sustainable design. So exactly the kind of environment that today's tech companies and workers are looking for. So the location is another huge win. New Park sits right between the convention center, City Hall, and the farmers market. So it plugs into what's already happening downtown, but pushes growth further south beyond the old kind of business core. But here's the part that you should really keep an eye out for. There's one more project that could tie all of this together with the new transit access. But there's a twist. It could flip the script completely and create a rare window of opportunity for people who know how to move before the funding comes through. All right, now let's talk about the transit project that is supposed to tie all of these developments together and why hitting pause on it actually creates some interesting chances if you know where to look. But the idea was simple but huge. Double downtown's rail capacity and build 2.4 miles of underground track right through the core with 4 brand new stations. A $1.7 billion plan that could have reshaped the entire system. So that planning started way back in 2007. City Council even signed off on it in 2022, and then 2023, DART pulled it from their 20-year plan. Now, why is that? Well, because, the costs were pretty high and rideship after the pandemic was pretty low. So the project's on hold. Not completely dead, just suspended. The alignment is still approved, and it's where the opportunity kind of shows up. Properties along that proposed route are sitting in limbo right now, but if funding comes back, whether through federal money or partnerships, those spots could jump pretty fast in value. So if you think about it, new rail access linking all of these mega projects, that would boost downtown revitalization and connect everything we've been talking about. And since the city already approved that alignment, the groundwork's in place. And it's just a matter of when, not if. But this is where it all kind of comes together now. I'm going to show you how these 7 mega projects are reshaping Dallas in ways we've never seen before. And I'll point out the neighborhoods you should be watching right now if you're looking for the biggest appreciation. So when you stack everything up, the numbers are pretty crazy. The Fields is more than $10 billion. New Park Smart District is $3.5 billion. The Mix is $3 billion. Universal Kids Resort is $550 million. Goldman Sachs is $500 million. Highline Square adds up to another $500 million. And if the D2 light rail ever gets funded, that's another $1.7 billion. So you add all that up together, that's more than $18 billion in play. And nothing close to that has ever hit Dallas before. And what really makes it even more powerful is how each one does something different. When you mix those together, Dallas ends up with a balanced economy that's more resilient than what other Texas markets are putting together. And the tying it all together is the Dallas North Tollway. So think of it as the backbone. It runs from Frisco's entertainment and corporate zone straight into Victory Park and downtown, creating one continuous corridor where business, housing, entertainment, and innovation, they can all connect. And this is Dallas pulling ahead with a bigger and bolder plan for the future. But if we talk about opportunities, short term, 1 to 3 years, the hot spots are North Frisco within 2 miles of Universal Kids Resort, Victory Park, and Uptown around the Goldman Sachs campus, and the Highline Corridor in the Design District. Now, longer term, 3 to 7 years, really keep your eye on the areas around New Park Smart District and South Downtown, the Lebanon Road and Dallas Parkway stretch near the Mix and Fields Parkway and PGA Boulevard area up in North Frisco. But I mean, altogether, these 7 projects are shaping Dallas for the next generation. I mean, more than $18 billion is flowing in, 50,000 new jobs, world-class entertainment, luxury living, new connections across the city. I mean, this is the biggest transformation Dallas has ever seen. But these projects create a once-in-a-generation chance for both residents and investors who know where to look. So the timing is really perfect for strategic property acquisition in these high-growth corridors before everyone else kind of catches on. And if you want to get ahead of this massive transformation, make sure you reach out to myself or my business partner, Travis. All of our information is on the screen or in the description below. We've helped hundreds of families buy or sell their homes here in Dallas just within the last couple of years. So we know exactly how to help you find the right property in those areas before everyone else realizes what's happening. And before you click off, if you really want to know about another amazing Dallas transformation, especially with the Valley View Mall, check out the new video on the International District here.